A lot of people on social media or YouTube keep saying that I am not qualified to help Black women because I'm only half Black and half Puerto Rican. But I've seemed to have helped more Black women than any other race, including other Black.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a video on someone I'm pretty sure you guys already know, which is the Sprinkle Sprinkle lady. She is also known as a Sheraseven and a Share Star Goddess, which, just to put a pin in that real quick, I've been thinking about starting either like a private like playlist or something, or like a Patreon, or maybe even a second channel to do like I really was interested in doing like some woo-woo videos. And the only reason why I haven't posted those videos to this channel is because I wanted this channel to be like a logical break room. You know, I feel like in the colorism conversation, or just like the gender conversations and stuff, there's so much like heat and there's no space to sit and rest and think things through. So I really wanted this to be like a logical brainstorming type of channel where, you know, like-minded individuals can come together and put their hypothesis and thesis together. So I feel like the basis of that has to be logical. So making woo-woo videos about spirituality, I wouldn't want to get confused what's real and what's not, if that makes sense. If you guys don't mind that, I would actually love to post those videos to this channel, maybe like on a private playlist. But if you guys think it's smart to keep those things separate the way a Sheraseven does, like with her two different channels, I might be interested in doing that as well. So please let me know, and definitely stay tuned if you're interested in stuff like that. But when it comes to Share, today I want to talk about, there's so many different things about her that are really interesting. But today I want to talk about, of course, race. And I think that at first, well, I've been watching the Sheraseven for a while now, probably since like 2018. And I never once really thought about her race because it did not matter to me. I was there for her content, mostly her spiritual content. And then I started getting into her level up content and stuff like that. But the part that like I find really funny is that no one really else gave a crap about her race until she became famous. And there were, I do remember watching her live chats and people every now and then mentioning, oh, like, what do you mix with? Why does your hair look like that? Blase skip. But most people did not make it a big deal. And now all of a sudden people are saying, oh, well, you can't give Black women advice because you are not Black. So we're going to get into that and break some things down. So sit back and enjoy.
A lot of people on social media or YouTube keep saying that I am not qualified to help Black women because I'm only half Black and half Puerto Rican. But I've seemed to have helped more Black women than any other race, including other Black YouTubers, okay? So, and here's another thing. If I were to only claim my Puerto Rican side, everyone would come and say, Puerto Rican is Black. And exactly, Puerto Rican isn't a race, it's an island. It's where you're from. So another thing is, if I say, oh, I'm not Black, I'm Latina. Well, you look like you got Black in you, so you Black. No matter what angle you come from, people are just going to find an excuse as to why they're not where they are wanting to be in their life. Okay, so it makes no difference if I was mixed with Asian, Puerto Rican, or Hispanic, Latina, you know, Spanish, white. It makes no difference. The stuff I'm telling and saying doesn't matter what I am. Okay, so that's silly to me, because what am I supposed to say? Oh, this information is only for the women that are mixed. Sorry, everyone else. That makes zero sense. You know, says your mama Black, you Black. And the funny thing is, I don't even know Spanish. Barely.
So once again, just like the Tyler situation, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If Ashira was to say, you know what, you guys are right, I'm not black, I'm Latina, Afro Latina, whatever she would want to say, y'all be like, oh, if you're black, you're trying to deny your blackness. Well, da 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 isn't a race. We're all from Africa. We're all black. You know, you guys would do that to her. But since she's, comfortable in her blackness and also, in her Hispanic side as well, people have a problem with that. And if she was to say, you know what, you guys are right, I'm actually not black, I'm mixed, and this won't work for you if you're black. And that's like an ongoing thing when it comes to her content as well. People telling her, like black women telling her, specifically racially unambiguous dark-skinned black women telling her that this content is not reasonable or realistic for women that don't look like her. And this is her way of saying, not only is that false, because women that look like that have, benefited from this channel, even if they don't 100% want to live the lifestyle that Ashira lives, her advice alone, anyone can benefit from that, even men, she even coaches men. So to say that a dark-skinned girl or a black girl can't benefit from the channel, it's just redundant at that point. And it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I also find it funny that now all of a sudden people are hyper fixating not just on her race, but her relationship to capitalism. And I think I want to do a video about not just like exoticals, but black women of all sorts having some type of disdain for seeing black women in luxury or black women date hypergamously with intention unapologetically. So there's definitely some type of disdain for that. But I've noticed even more than the capitalism conversations and her getting canceled over Starbucks or whatever, people have been obsessing over her hair, her relationship to blackness, what is she mixed with, all these clips I found from TikTok. So these are like ongoing new conversations that people are still bringing this type of stuff up. And I find it so funny because I don't think anyone really gave a shit. I think that when I'm looking at her content, I'm literally listening to what she's saying, and she's so funny to where the last thing I'm really paying attention to is like her looks and stuff, like unless she's selling some type of cosmetic thing or whatever. But I find that really funny that no one really gave a shit until it was time to cancel her. And my theory is that at first it's like, oh, another quote unquote black girl talking about hypergamy, and they wanted to like diminish her. But I think that once they realized she was an exotical, it split into two. Kind of like the Nara situation, how there's not just one group of people hating her. There's people that are jealous of light-skinned women that hate her. There's people that are jealous of mixed people that hate her. That could be any race. There's people that hate her because she's in an interracial relationship. There's people that hate her because she's Mormon. There's so many different categories of people who are attacking this one person. And I feel like that same thing kind of happens to Ashira, because you have the women that are women and men who are jealous of women that do hypergamy, that want to call her a gold digger. Then you have the people that want to say she's anti-black because she wouldn't date black men and blah blah blah. And then you got the dusties, and then you have the black girls who feel like they can't live this lifestyle, and them saying, oh, Sheraseven is dangerous, don't listen to her content, she's not going to help you find love. Like, no shit, Sherlock. Like, her channel's not for that. She doesn't call herself a dating coach, she calls herself a financial advisor. So I think that it's just so much hate from so many different places when it comes to her. And I find that incredibly interesting, because initially no one felt this way until it was time to flag her. And basically, like, I think they wanted to like punish her. I find that when it comes to other black creators, black female creators that talk about hypergamy, people try to demean them in certain ways. Like, oh, well, your baby daddy's not shit, so why would we take advice from you? You don't get to do this and that. Just shit like that. But because Sheraseven really talks to life, she lives the life that she talks about, you can't diminish her. You can't degrade her. You can't punish her. People tried to do that with the whole Starbucks thing. Like, oh, she doesn't care about this. All she cares about is money. Like, no shit. Like, people already knew that about her, so there's no way you can cancel her, because she's always been open that that's what she's here for.
Shira is not black. You know what? My mother's black. My family's black. My dad is Puerto Rican. And it's sad that I'm not black, but I can still figure out how to solve your problem. I'm not 100% black. That doesn't mean that thinking positive and figuring out solutions instead of making excuses is not going to work. It don't matter what races I am combined with. You still making excuses. Okay. I could be an alien and tell you the same thing, and you can tell me I'm not black. I could be a green alien, but I still see your problem. Okay? I'm still seeing your problem. Don't matter. I still see you make excuse instead of solution. Okay? I don't even have to speak it to English. I can use Google Translate and see your problem.
Oh my God, I love her, you guys. She is so funny. But everything she said was 100% facts in my personal opinion. I think that when it comes to Black Americans, like monoracial Black Americans, there's this weird thing where we want to dish out our dirty laundry and then get mad when somebody see our dirty drawers and comment on it. I think that I don't know. I feel like a lot of these conversations, like in the Black community, we've been having for so many years. And I'm not saying like keep it under wraps. I feel like abuse should be called out, and if Black women feel like they're at the bottom of the bucket, we should call that out. But to not do anything about it and scream, like, I think even when it comes to, like, to the passport bros, this is a global thing. People knowing Black Americans' dirty laundry and what's going on in our community, and I feel like the whole world, not even just as like because I made a video about like Americans and how other countries laugh at Americans. There's, places where they laugh at Black Americans specifically when it comes to the passport bros, all the stuff that we do when it comes to civil rights and stuff like that. So this is not just something that we talk about in our kitchens or in our barber shops or, at our skating rings or our clubs anymore. This is something that's a global conversation. And if you're going to put shit like this on TikTok, people are allowed to comment on it, whether you think they're Black or not. So that's my personal opinion on that. And I do find it interesting that any other time exoticals lead the conversation, not lead the conversation on colorism, but lead the conversation in black like evolution, like when it comes to like Beyonce, Barack Obama, like these are all exoticals. And any other time you're okay with these people being your leaders and being icons for you, but all of a sudden as Sheraseven, she can't be this, icon because she's Black. I mean, she's not Black. So I find that very hypocritical as well. I think it's just a way to like punch down on her so that people can discredit what she's saying. There are people that think she's Black and she's just a regular Black girl and she's just a regular Black old bitter gold digger. And then there's people on the other side where they're like, no, she's not Black, so her advice wouldn't work on us anyway. So yeah. I also wanted to put some information on, and this is public information. I would never dox anybody. But this is like her government name and some younger pictures of her that she posted. Just so that, because I know nowadays, like with the aesthetics and stuff, everybody look Black. Shit, like if we're gonna keep it a buck, So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I figured if I could find like some pictures of her, like when she was younger, just to give more like continuity on like how she looks and stuff. So because I know some people like are accused of like blackfishing and stuff and whatever like that, and people like to pull up older pictures of people like, oh, like you're wearing a tan and box braids here, but like 5 months ago at your grandma's house you just look like a regular white girl. Like, what's up with that? So I pulled up like some older pictures of her and stuff so you guys could see that she's always had like the exotical look, but again, she's always represented herself as Black as well. And there's a lot of people that y'all would never forget. This is one of the reasons why when Exoticals United was like, telling us to start a channel and stuff, I was like, yeah, I should totally do this because I've always been like passionate about these topics, and I'm low-key kind of like Facebook famous. Like I be getting dragged over there and shit too about my topics and stuff. So one time I had it, and this is like off rail, so just fast forward if you hate like my little stories. But one time, this was back when and I might do a video about this. This was back when Chloe Bailey was getting dragged for getting back shots in the Beyonce TV show on Prime or whatever. And people are saying you're never going to be a real actress and comparing her to her sister and stuff like that, which to me is the Madonna horror complex, but we'll get into that later. But the part that I made a point and I was like, yo, ain't y'all the same people saying that Halle Berry, you know, made waves for black people and black women because she was the first black woman to win an Oscar and she was getting back shots in Monster Ball, you know what I mean? So I kind of made that comparison. And now at the time, I wouldn't say that I was either pro-black or pro-exotical. I was more just wanting to point out things that I knew did not make sense, and I knew that just this is just not fair. And you wouldn't say it about this person, so why are you saying it about that person? So if there's some things about the story you don't agree with, that's fine. But at the time, I remember thinking, you know, Halle Berry, she's a national treasure in Black America, but you know, some people she ain't black. So and I think people did that with like Mariah Carey too. Like, oh, when did you find out Mariah Carey was black? Stuff like that. But I remember comparing it to Chloe, and I really didn't care about the race. I was caring about the morals and the ethics of it all. Like basically saying, if Halle Berry can be praised for it, why is Chloe Bailey being demonized for it? That's basically where I was coming from. And a lot of people were telling me, no, Halle Berry is black. She's always identified as black. Look at some younger pictures of her. She was in the just black pageant queen thing. And people are telling me, regardless of her ethnic background, that if she identifies as black, she's black. But when it comes to Shera, it's just a completely different story. So again, this is definitely selective blackness and people trying to, different groups of people, by the way, pulling her in and out of blackness to humiliate and degrade her and basically try to make it seem like her opinions do or don't matter.
The first husband she married was black. You see what that went south real quick. Then she married my dad, who's Puerto Rican. That went south. My sister's dad was white, but back in those days, she couldn't marry a white man. The law didn't pass until like the 70s something in Texas. So she couldn't marry my sister's dad, but they were like, you know. Then she married my first stepdad. He's white. Then my second stepdad, the one that I have now, my stepdad that I have now, yes, he was an engineer. She wouldn't chase it behind somebody that didn't want her and that was going to mistreat her and abuse her. She went with somebody that wanted to lift her up and give her what she needed. And she had 4 kids. Okay? So all the women who are saying, well, I got kids, can I do it? If my mama did it, you can do it. Okay? She did it.
Now, what was that again that the pro-black or whatever community was saying? Well, if you come from a black woman, you're black. Or I don't know. Sometimes they switch it up. Sometimes they say the woman carries the DNA. So as long as you come, because there's this ongoing thing that if you're biracial or mixed or something, if your mother's the black one, then you're black. But if your father is, then you're not. Because, you know, niggas ain't shit. We can't rely on them to hand down certain things in the community, especially if they fetishize and exoticize another community. Why would they bring up the good things about their own to their, you know, mixed offspring? And then some people feel the complete opposite way, like the father carries that, to where if a black guy wanted to have an interracial relationship, his children would not be considered mixed. They would still be considered black because he is. So I don't know. I really don't care either way. But I just feel like either way you put it, like she's black. And you can tell from her name, because Letitia, come on, that's a black person name. Be for real. You can tell her mama named her that. And then the last name, you can tell that's Hispanic. But yeah, any other time people would be saying, well, Hispanic isn't a race, you're black. But when she just identifies as herself, because she's more spiritual, she's not going to sit here and say, I'm black, I'm this, actually, I'm 1/3 that. She's not on that. Shera is so out of this world. To bring her down to some dumb shit and put her in a box, like, she's never going to do that. So I don't even think she really gives a crap. She was more so pointing a point because people are trying to use her race against her and say that her advice doesn't matter because she's not black, you know? But other than that, I don't even think she would bring this shit up. And the only other time she did bring up race is when she brought up that she would not date a black man if she were 22 today, even though she's currently married to one, which again, I agree with. But yeah, she really brings up race to prove points. She really doesn't care about, you know, how people try to put her in a box and stuff like that.
I'm just going to be 1,000% honest. If I were 22 today, I would not be dating Black men at all, unless they were older. They'd have to be real old. Because they're too feminine these days for me. I like masculine, go get them, I'm gonna pay for that baby type men, okay? Where you want to go on vacation type men. That's what I like. If I was 22 today, I wouldn't date Black men. I'm sorry. Y'all take too long to get y'all stuff together. Y'all want us to pay half the bills and sleep with you? No, can't do that. So I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm not saying that other men are better than you. I'm just saying they're more ambitious than you. Yes, you can play basketball and football really good. You dominate the rap game. But the average non-famous Black man has less ambition. I like ambition. Ambition leads to success. Oh, sorry. Others have a financial head start. They are not more ambitious. That's not really true. You can't use that as an excuse. If you're ambitious, you don't need a head start. If you good, you don't need a head start. Seriously, my husband didn't have no head start. He's Black. He came from a family of 10 in the country. He didn't have no head start. So what's your excuse? You come up with every excuse instead of every solution. That's your problem. You're going to sit here and say, oh, this, oh, that. You're going to come up with 10 excuses before you come up with half a solution. That's why you stuck. That's why women make more money than you. And that's why you are stuck. Okay? And that's just the honest truth. Everybody sees that. Everyone. Except y'all.
So again, thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. If you have any things that I missed out that you want to mention, please feel free to comment. And also, if you guys are interested in me starting like a second channel or maybe like a different playlist or something, because someone told me don't do a second channel because I won't get like the analytics or whatever. But at the same time, I really don't really care about that. I really just want to like put all these ideas in my head into a nice video and have it make sense. And I feel like posting stuff like that on this channel would make it not make sense, if that makes sense. So if you have any like opinions on that, please let me know. I would really appreciate it. And thank you so much and have a beautiful day.